This is absolutely crazy. 2 days ago, it was 10 degrees here. Over a foot of snow. I couldn't even see the water. It was frozen solid. Now, after a few warm days in the 40s and a really heavy rain last night, bare ground, easy to dig, still got some chunks of ice. But I'm not going to pass this up. This may be the last warm day of the winter. So let's see what we can find. I'm in a spot where I'm not allowed to use the Goldbox. You only can use a pan and a trowel. No shovels aren't even allowed either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bunch of speed pans, classify the material down to a few pounds, and probably take that home and then run it through the Goldbox. Just because, you know, I don't have much time today. I only got a few more hours before it's going to start getting dark. And another tool, knee waders. And I picked these up at Walmart for $7. Man, do these make a difference on kneeling down on this rock, especially in the cold. Keeps your knees dry. For $7, those are worth it. Take a look. Still got some ice, but the ground is thawed enough to hopefully get down at least a foot. Let's find out and see. One thing I like to look for, you know, you always want to look for the inside bend. That's pretty much a given. But what I like to find, if I'm in an area that has garnet, I like to try to find where there's a heavy concentration of it. Because garnet is actually kind of heavy. So if you start seeing pools of it right after big rocks, especially in this area, you got a nice chunk of, or you got the chunks of ice right there settling. But you also got some big rocks that have settled out too, which means this is a low point. It's not always a guarantee, but it could mean that if the heavies can settle here, like the garnet and these big rocks, maybe the gold's there too. You pretend it's a nice, warm, sunny day, you start to believe it. This water's cold. This spot has a lot of heavies and garnet, so it takes a little while to really pan it out good. Oh well, let's try another spot. So far I've tried right there with nothing, right here with nothing, and then I went a little further up, go up closer, right there with nothing. So I think I'm going to try just a little further in and just see if that's a little better. Well, that was disappointing. Did about 8 pans, didn't even find one speck. This place is, it's been hit hard over the last few years, so I wasn't expecting much. But I also found that when I got about 8-10 inches down, the ground was still frozen. So, but I can't complain. It's a nice New Year's Eve day that's actually warm. It's been in the teens up here for the last week, so it is what it is. I got another hour or two left. I'm going to go try to find another spot that may have some gold. We will see. But I did get out in the stream. And right behind that rock, I screened down, you know, about a gallon's worth of material down to a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna bring it home. Maybe there'll be something in there. Hopefully it will. But I'm running out of daylight, so I gotta maximize what I can. But still a win. A great day. I mean, it's just absolutely stunning here. Hard to believe it's winter time, but I'll take it. I'm at the second spot. As you can see, you don't get as much thaw over here. It's on the opposite side of the mountain, less sunlight, a lot more shade, so unfortunately this isn't looking too good. But there is some, I'm gonna try to get a couple scoops. The pale air is underneath this ice and I can't get at it, so maybe out there I'll just put a little in the bucket, bring it home, see what happens. But I only got another hour of daylight, so I can't waste time panning. So I'll just fill up the bucket and let's hope for the best. The things we do for gold. I was able to break away some of this ice. Hopefully this is the area that's holding the gold, because I can't move any of this other stuff. It's just too big. Just gonna spend about 20 minutes, fill this bucket. Hope for the best. I won't know here, but I'll find out when I get home and I can run into the Goldbox. It's day 2, New Year's Day. I am back in my garage. It is 30 degrees out and raining, so this is the dry spot to be right now. I have the material I brought back from the rivers. The black one is from the very first spot where I just wasn't finding anything. I just couldn't get down deep enough to the dirt because it was frozen, or the pay dirt or whatever. So I'm not real hopeful that there's something in there, but I'm going to run it anyways. Hopefully there's a speck or two. The second one is from where that icy stream was. I know there's gold in there. I couldn't quite get as close as I wanted to the bank where I usually get the gold, but I think it's close enough that there should be at least a few specks in there. I've also set this up on the ground. Usually I have it on a table, but this is the way I designed it. This is designed to be run out of a chair, nice and comfortable. The worst thing of any gold prospecting is getting uncomfortable, sore. It just ruins your day. So I wanted to make it as enjoyable process as possible. So let's run through these and let's see how it goes. Everything's set. Should be running real good. This is gonna take a little while, but let's see what's in it. I could be wrong, but I believe this is the only pressurized piece of gold prospecting equipment on the market, at least for the hobbyist field. So because of that, whether the pay dirt's wet or dry, it doesn't matter. You can just dump it right in. It all gets pressurized and forced down. A lot of these secondary ops, when you're trying to clean your gold, you got to add jet dry to the water to keep any gold from floating, because the little pieces will float. But because this is pressurized, they cannot float. They'll drop down in any of those little crevices and just get pushed down with the pressure. I've also used the back pressure in my favor. I get a little hose coming up in here, which this part's 3D printed that has a channel in it. So it lightly feeds water down here to keep any of the dirt from sticking. And that's usually a reference. Usually at the very bottom of the angles is where I want the back pressure to be. Any more, that means the box is going too slow, and it's just going to start piling up. If it's down lower than that, that means it's going really fast, which you can do if you know the material is very heavy and not worry about lights. This thing won't catch it. But if you're trying to capture lights or light material, especially in a secondary operation, you want the pressure set just right. And I purposely made a mechanical valve because I'm not a big fan of the electronical valves. If they get water in them while you're out in the field and shorts out, you're done for the day. Where mechanical never fails. So let's run some scoops and let's see what's in this material. I just finished running the bucket. That took a little while. Personal note, I need to bring home less concentrates and try to clean them a little better. I'm going to have to definitely empty that water out before I get to the next one, because that's definitely going to take a while and make a mess. But this is what's left in the gold box. So let's see what's in there. Like I said, I don't have my hopes up for this one, but you never know. Just clean it off in case anything stuck to it. See, there's actually not a lot of material, and that's one of the things I like about this. It's so efficient, it just gets all the lights out, so you don't have to pan a ton of material. I mean, that's a whole bucket's worth, or over half of the 3-gallon bucket's worth, and that's all that's left of the material. So there should just be gold and just some random heavies that just get stuck behind. So let's see. Empty it out. Do it. A few pieces of rock stuck here and there, but anything valuable should be in here. It's gonna be a little hard doing one-handed, but let's see if I can do it. See if I can clean out some of this. Maybe some micro specks. That's probably not going to show up on camera. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. I'm actually surprised. I wasn't expecting to find anything, but there are some micros in here. Let me zoom in. Where are they? There they are. It looks like maybe 3 specks. 3 little gold specks. Which also shows how well this Goldbox captures the material. I mean, those are small. Zoom out, you can barely see them. They're specks. But overall, I'm actually surprised that there's anything in there. I just was not getting anything panning, or maybe I was just a little too aggressive panning, and the small specks like that were coming out. Just finished running all the material out of that bucket. That took a while. I might have let that water get a little too dirty. Hopefully that doesn't affect the results. But let's see. Take a quick look inside. It's hard to tell. The gold from this area is usually pretty small. There's nothing really sizable, so you're probably not going to see it in the open. So let's get it in the pan. Should be good enough. Get rid of some of the excess. I'm seeing some gold. A couple pieces right there. Let me reposition this to get it in, so I can pan that just a little better. I was a little quick on that one. Was able to clean that up a little better, just so we get a better view on the camera. It's small, but I definitely got more on this one. It's actually not too bad, considering I wasn't able to get where I wanted to get in that river. But there was definitely gold there. Overall, not too bad. I was able to get a little gold, take advantage of a warm day in the middle of winter. I mean, it's been just straight out snow and ice for the last month, so just to have an unusually warm weather movement come through and free up the rivers for a day, it was a win. And once again, the Goldbox proved itself. I was able to get the gold out of the material. I mean, it was almost 2 buckets full of materials, and even the smallest pieces it was able to extract from it. So until next time, happy prospecting. Try to get out there and find life's hidden treasures.